Hi, how you doing? Welcome to a vlog. It's gonna be a very short one because it's already Monday evening. I was supposed to start this vlog on Thursday, but I didn't because life is just incredibly busy. Um, so yeah, this video is probably not gonna be very long. You already know that because you can see how long it is. Um, let's get into it. Um, Last week I had already started A Thousand Heartbeats by Kiera Cass. I was barely into it last week, so I couldn't really tell you much about it. Right now I finished part one and I'm obsessed. So this is um, a YA romantasy story. It's dual POV. So we have Annika, who is a princess, and she has to marry for political reasons with a terrible guy who is just a walking red flag, and she doesn't want to marry him, but she doesn't have a lot of options. She has to. Um, and their second POV is Lennox, and he is part of a clan that claims to be the rightful rulers of this kingdom. Um, they're outcasts. They're banished, and everyone in the kingdom has forgotten about them. But they want their throne back, and they're going to take it back. So it's a very military type of lifestyle. Um, and Lennox continuously has to prove himself to the leader of the clan, who's also a stepdad. Um, and so, yeah, the two of them meet, and it's a romantasy, so you can see how that will go. Um, I'm really liking this. It's really readable. The writing style is very easy to read. Um, I really like our characters. Um, they're easy to root for. Um, and then the people who are supposed to not like, I really don't like Annika's fiance and um, the leader of the clan. We're not supposed to like them, and I really don't. So good there, I guess. So yeah, easy to root for the protagonists. Um, yeah, I just really like it. Um, there was something else that I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it is. So, no, I forgot. Um, yeah, I really like this. I'm kind of obsessed. I genuinely don't know what is gonna happen next. Um, oh, that's what I wanted to say. I really like Lennox has this sort of ragtag motley crew type thing to do his task, and I really like them. Um, so yeah, it's great. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. And it reads pretty quickly as well. I had to force myself to stop after part one because I wanted to talk to you about when I finished part one, um, which was on Saturday. and it's been hard to hold myself back from continuing these past 2 days. Luckily, I had 2 other things to read because I started 2 books. Jade War, the sequel to Jade City. My friend Tori over at Tori Talks is still hosting a read along for this. And this month we're reading book 2. It's really hard to talk about this one without spoiling the first book because the story is has so many twists and turns. So I won't say too much. I'm just saying that it's really good again. Again, very twisty. Again, I have no idea where the story is going. But I'm really liking it. I love seeing the politics going on. And I'm also reading this very quickly. I'm this far into it. So not very far. But I'm loving it. And then the third book that I'm reading is Dictator by Robert Harris, the third and final book in the Cicero trilogy, which is one of my favorite series of all time. This is a reread for me. I reread book 1 and 2 at the beginning of this year, and for whatever reason, I never reread book 3. So I'm doing that now, and I'm loving it again. I love Tito's voice. It's great. I again love the sort of political stuff, the twisty stuff. This is incredibly fast paced. Book 2 is as well. Book 1 is fast already, but book 2 and 3 are even more so. So yeah, I wish that it would take a little bit more its time, but I understand why it goes so fast because it is describing a very turbulent time in history. And so to these people, it must have felt like they never got a break. And so you as a reader don't get a break either. So I can see why, or at least I'm going to pretend that's why, if that's not the real reason. But yeah, I'm loving this again. I love the politics in it again. So yeah, that's what I'm reading at the moment. I hope I will be able to check in at some point. I plan to, but we know how that goes. So I guess I'll see you in the next update, whenever that may be. Bye. Hi, it is Friday. It's been really busy. It is what it is. I'm gonna say now, if things continue to be so busy, I probably won't have very regular videos come out. They'll just come when they come. But I'm gonna give myself that leniency right now. But I do have updates because I read more of Jade War and I'm really liking it. As I already said, it's hard to talk about this without spoiling the first one. But one thing that I can say and that I'm really liking in here is that the world gets expanded upon quite a lot. So in the first book, we heard about other countries because we know Shay lived in a different country, we get to talk about different countries, but here we get to go there. And, well, I don't really get a grasp on the cultures of those countries. Like, it's still very early on in the book, so that might still come. I really hope we get that. Because Kekon just feels very alive, and I want the other cultures to feel as alive as well, which are not doing at this point in time. But I'm hopeful that will happen. And yeah, I'm really liking to. I really like seeing other parts of the world as well. I'm also reading 1,000 Heartbeats. I am this far into it, and I'm loving this. And I'm really happy that I'm loving this because I was a little nervous because the last book I read by Kiera, which was Betrothed, I didn't have that one. So I'm really glad that I'm liking this. Again, what can I say without spoiling it? A certain thing has happened. In Annika's POV. So something has happened to Annika, and that has sort of changed a few things for her. But what I like about this is that the other characters don't suddenly change because of that. So something bad happened to her, and like her family and stuff, they may have been worried about her and not wanting that to happen. But that doesn't mean that they're suddenly changed and that like they won't force her to marry this guy anymore, and that this guy is suddenly great. Like it's still they are the same while Annika is influenced, and if there is a change in the other people, then that is more as a reaction to the change that Annika went through rather than like direct reactions to the thing that happened. I hope I'm making sense because I'm trying to keep this spoiler free, and I'm not sure if I'm explaining it terribly or if I'm over explaining it, so I hope you get what I mean. But yeah, I'm really loving this. Yeah, I don't know. That's the update. I read some more of Dictator as well, but I'm not far enough to really have much to say at this point in time. So I'll update that once I get a little bit further along. One thing that I can say, it's really funny, because this time I noticed some things are not quite accurate historically, like the events would be accurate, but the reactions of people to those events not always. Like there were two instances where I noticed this, and one of them is like Cicero very famously wrote his book De Bello Gallico, so about the war in Gaul, and when other characters hear about this, of like, oh, and he's gonna send us a descendant, and wow, and this is, and his writing style is this, and oh, and it's like that wouldn't be their reaction because, like, people like Kaiser who have one of the provinces under their control, they would have to send reports of what happens to the Senate, or like people who are leading an army would have to write reports of how things are going to the Senate. That was normal. That was the context to those to that book, right? And the difference is, Geyser didn't just send his report to the Senate; he made it public. But the fact that he wrote it and that he was going to send it to the Senate was normal. And the writing style was just a style in which those types of reports are always written. And that was normal. So that was really funny. Which, like, if you're not as deep into ancient Rome as I am, you probably wouldn't notice, and it doesn't bother me or something. It's just fun to see, I think. But like, you know, it's fun to. Yeah, I lost my train of thought there. This is just not. It's not a criticism. It's just like, that's funny to see that is. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I think I'm gonna let this vlog run till next Wednesday. I should stop talking because I can't form a full sentence anymore at this point. So I'll talk to you again at some point. Bye. Okay, it's only a few minutes after the last clip, but literally the moment I turn up the camera, the doorbell rang, and I had a package. And it was the Wickwire watch. The author, Jacquelyn Hagen, was so kind to send me a copy of it, like a physical copy. And like, she lives in the US. And so she had to ship it to Belgium, which, A, I can't imagine how expensive that would have been for her. B, so much paperwork on my end, in customs and stuff. But I finally have it, and I'm so happy. And it is, and I got a bookmark with it. Like, look, it's so pretty. And in the back, like, I love this. And it's signed. I'm so happy with this. I'm so excited to read this. It will probably be something for next year because I'm trying not to start a new series before the end of the year. So I'm gonna try and hold myself back. But also, I want to read this so much, and I'm so excited. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to share. I'm really happy right now. Okay, bye. Hi, it is Monday. I don't know what happened over the weekend, but I was in a reading mood. I did a lot of reading. So I have updates. So, 1,000 Heartbeats. I am over halfway. Yeah, I don't know. I still like it, but the pacing is a little weird. It feels both too long and a little rushed at the same time. Also, for a book written by Kiera and a book called 1,000 Heartbeats, it is not very romance heavy. It is definitely a fantasy with romance rather than a romance with fantasy, which is how I would describe the other books by Kiera. But I'm still liking it. We're at an interesting spot, and I really want like some of the romance to start happening because we haven't really got, like, they've met, but we don't really have the romance itself. A lot, like, they haven't really developed feelings, I feel, for each other yet, so I would really want that to happen. So yeah, I'm still enjoying this, but I want certain parts of the plot to start happening right now. Because I think it's definitely in that department that it feels too long. And I think it's just the last couple of chapters that felt really rushed because for so long it has been a very slow book. Not much has been happening, and then suddenly, bam! All the action happens in a couple chapters, and I would have liked to see a more like even pacing. I think that's my biggest issue at the moment with this, but I'm still enjoying this. I will keep reading this because I am invested. But most of my reading over the weekend was in Jade War. I'm also over halfway. And I'm really hooked on this. I want to know what happens. Yeah, it's really interesting. One thing that on Friday in like the previous clip, what I was trying to get at, but I wasn't able to articulate myself properly, or my thoughts rather, is that in the cultural descriptions of other places, Fonda Lee isn't interested in what clothes do they wear, what food do they eat. Those sort of superficial things aren't really discussed. She's much more interested in the deeper fundamental differences between different cultures and like the different mentalities that they have. And so we have a character, I won't say their name because that would spoil a part of book one, but there is a character that is in a different country, and there was a while where it didn't really fit, but it wasn't because they look different, they eat different food, they have a different religion. It was because they fundamentally didn't understand this other culture, and they didn't understand the mentalities that are at the core of behaviors, traditions, etc. And so that is really interesting. And on Friday, I really wanted to get more of the more like superficial aesthetics of a culture. But I don't know that I still want that right now. I think it's really, like, I like it as it is right now. I marked a quote that is related to these differences in how to describe cultures that I really liked, that I'm gonna read to you. So in this other country, there is this Cacanese community, and they have like an evening where they do a bunch of stuff. So, and then we have this quote. All evening, character had found the Gretschall strange and a little overwhelming, and now he understood why. The place was like a distillate of Cacanese culture. The food and hoji, the cockfighting and gambling, the social life, the tradition of clean-bladed dueling, and the celebration of jade abilities, all crammed together under one roof in one evening. It gave character the oddest feeling. It was both acutely Cacanese and not Cacanese at all. So that's what I meant. They try to imitate like the aesthetics of the culture, like the food, the traditions, the whatever, but it's not really the real thing. Um, so yeah, that's a discussion that I really liked in this. I am also really loving how the war aspect progresses. I can't say a ton because I don't want to spoil it. But there's sort of happened a shift in how this war is being fought, which I like. Is there anything else? I think that's all my thoughts right now. But I'm really hooked on this. I really want to know what happens. This as a buddy read in Tori's Discord, Tori from Tori Talks. And I just, like, a lot of people are further along than I am, and I want to click all the spoiler words, but I can't, so I need to keep reading so that I can finally see what they're talking about. And I just want to know what happens. So yeah, I really like this. I was starting to get a little bored in this until like that culture thing came up. Like, or the really explicit discussion of like the culture theme with the quote I just read came up. And then I really liked it because that's a theme that I find very interesting. So yeah, that's what I've been reading over the weekend. I'm really liking both of these. I think I forgot to mention that last week I finished Shelter Mountain. I don't think I've mentioned that. All my thoughts I've said in other places, so I won't rehash it. But I did love it. I gave it 5 stars. Yeah, it just feels very cozy and feel good, even though dark things happen and dark themes are being discussed. But it just still has that cozy feel good feeling because the characters are just so like nice to each other and patient and understanding. And so we have the sense of community that really supports these characters that bad things are happening to. So I really love that. I want to read a third book. I will read a third book once I've finished 1,000 Heartbeats. That will be the one I read after. Because I just want to be back in Virgin River and with these characters, and yeah, I love it. So yeah, I think that's all for now. So I will talk to you again when I have more. Bye. Hello. It is Wednesday evening, so time to end the vlog. I haven't read much. I've read a little bit more of 1,000 Heartbeats. Some of the things that I said that I wanted to start like moving have been moving in the bit that I've read. And so the scene where I'm at, this what is that, 2/3? I'm at a really interesting scene. So I'm liking this. I don't know what else to say. So I guess I'll just wrap up the vlog right now. These are the 3 books I've read this week. So first of all, we have Jade War, the second book in the Greenbone saga. I'm really enjoying this one. It's a lot of fun. And some really emotional moments as well. It's really good. 1,000 Heartbeats by Kiera. I'm also really enjoying. It's a little bit too long in some places, rushed in a few others, but I'm still enjoying it. And then I have my reread of Dictator, which I haven't read a ton of, but I will definitely read more of this next week. I would like to be able to finish these 3 by the end of the month, and then I'll be happy for the month. Like, that's gonna be my goal. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I'll probably be able to finish 2. The third one, maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, that was a vlog. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you again in another video later. Bye.